I'm going to help you understand some features in Canvas that might be useful in organizing what you need to do for all of your classes. So when you go to Canvas and you are on your dashboard, this is what you're probably seeing as a default. Useful things on this page are links to all of your classes and your to-do list on the right side, as well as recent feedback. So, if your teachers have given you feedback recently, you definitely want to click on these to find out what sorts of comments you got. So we'll talk about that later. You can also view your grades. So this Han Solo is enrolled in 3 classes. He hasn't actually received a grade for any of them, but he could see all of his grades in one place. I'm going to go back to the dashboard because you might find that there's a different view that will be more helpful to you. So many people have asked, how can I see what's coming up in all of my classes at once without having to click on each class individually? So on your dashboard at the right, you'll see these 3 little dots. Go ahead and click on those dots and change to the list view. So this is going to list all of the assignments and upcoming events in your classes all at once. So I'm looking here, this is what's happening today, and I can see I have several assignments due. I can see the due dates on the right. I have an event because I have this class in the evening from 5 to 6. I have got an announcement from one of my classes, and then I can see what's due tomorrow. And it looks like, oh dear, my teacher has already counted this as missing. That's unfortunate. She's graded it before the due date. That must have been a mistake on her part. And if I look down here, I can load more. I can see and anticipate what's going to be coming up next week. So I have additional things, and I can, again, see all of my classes at once, which is really helpful. And I can keep loading. I can keep going forward. Oh, but none of my teachers have really planned much in the future. So that's really helpful. If there's something that you are like, yeah, I've done that, I don't need it to show up anymore, such as like, I'm going to remember to go to my class today. I don't want this showing up anymore. I can click on that. To just say, yes, I've done this. So you can think of this as like a to-do list. Okay, I've done this, and then check things off. So it's a nice way to organize what you have coming up. Another thing that's nice about this page, okay, if you've scrolled all the way down, you want to get back to today, just click today. This little bell is going to show you some alerts. So Han Solo has 14 assignments that need his attention. So you can see right away, these are all of his missing assignments. And it's nice because then you can go in here and just click on them, and it'll take you directly to that assignment where you can then complete it. So yeah, past due 13 days, you should really get on that. So I'm going to go back to the dashboard. You can also link directly to your grades here. And again, I don't have any grades yet, but if I wanted to look at the grade book for that class, I can get there easily here. So this is, I'm looking at Han Solo's grades for his biology class. And I want to point out some things on here because there are some important things to note. So this is an easy way also to see what's missing. And it looks like I have some feedback here. This is a comment. So I have a feedback from a teacher. One thing I recommend doing is when you open up your gradebook for each class, go all the way over here and always click on this show all details. That's useful because now you're automatically going to see the comments from your teacher. And if there are rubrics, I don't know if there are any rubrics here, but if your teacher has filled out a rubric, that's going to show up as well. Another thing that's really useful to remember is if you've turned something in, you've gotten feedback, you should always get in the habit of opening that assignment and clicking on View Feedback. Your teacher, and if this is too small, just click on the little expand button here. So your teacher may have put comments directly on the assignment that you submitted, and you have to click on that View Feedback button to actually see them. So here are comments from my teacher. And let's see how to close this. Oh, here. There we go. If we look back at the dashboard, if you have something that you want to add to your agenda, like a reminder, study for French quiz. Maybe the quiz isn't until next Monday, but you want to remember to study it on Friday during that asynchronous work day. So I'm going to schedule myself to do that so I remember, and I'll just say I want to do that at 10 a.m. And I could say it's for a particular course. I actually don't have French listed here, but I could add it. I'll add it to my test course so we can see what happens. I could write some details as well, but if I push that, a to-do has been added. So if I look at Friday, all right, now I have that on my to-do list, study for French quiz. Let's take a look at your class views and see if I can help navigate some of the helpful places in your courses. So if you're using this dashboard, you can get to your classes either by clicking on the picture and name of the class, or on your blue navigation bar, you can click courses here and click the class that you want to go to. So I'll click here. This brings me to my home page. And I'm in the habit of always going to the modules to see what's happening. If you're finding that there's a lot of stuff that you don't want to see, like old weeks, you can use this little arrow to make these smaller so they're not taking up quite so much space. All right, so you want to get in the habit of always going to the agenda for your course for that particular day. And in that agenda, it might look different for different teachers, but you should always be able to find the link either for Zoom or Teams for the synchronous class and an idea of what's happening that day. If you click on the assignments link here on the left, that will show you a list of all of the assignments that have been entered into Canvas. So I have a bunch of overdue assignments. It's nice that it's at the top of the page. I've requested that I view these by date. So overdue assignments that need my attention. Here are some upcoming assignments that aren't due yet, but those need to be on my radar. I can see the due dates here. And then some past assignments that I have already submitted or have been graded. From the home page on each of your classes, this will look similar. On the right side, you'll have a to-do list just for that one class. And down here, you'll find recent feedback for that particular class. So this is a little bit different than what you saw on your dashboard because it is just specific to one class. You can also get to your course calendar here and notice that only Biology 1 is selected. If I want to see my calendar for all of my classes, I can easily just click on this button here, or I can click on my other classes. So there are many ways of viewing your calendar. I have it on the week view, so I can see each day and times. You're probably seeing your calendar like this as a month, so you can kind of plan ahead if you like seeing visually in kind of grid form what's happening. You can also go to this agenda view to see it in a more linear form. So this is similar to that list view on the dashboard, but it doesn't give quite as much information on this side, but it does show the due dates and times front and center. So this is another great way of easily seeing what's coming up and what you need to turn in or start planning so that you can turn it in on time. The last issue I want to address is how you can go about figuring out where to submit assignments and what form that should be. So when you are in a class or looking at your to-do list and you see that, okay, there's something due, let's see, the history of evolution theory assignment. I'm going to click on that. So there are several different places to look. If it is something that you will be submitting directly to Canvas, that information is going to be at the very top of that assignment. And I'll see the submit assignment button, and then I'll see the due dates, how much it's worth. And then I can see here that I'm submitting a text entry box or a file upload. And these are the types of files that my teacher specified I can submit. So if I click on submit assignment, I get a lot of different choices here. So here's the file upload. I can choose the file and find it on my desktop to enter it that way. If I want, I could also just enter text directly in here and submit that as my assignment. Your teacher may assign work that isn't being submitted directly to Canvas. In those cases, you're going to, well, in all cases, really, you need to read the instructions to find out how and where to submit that assignment. So I'm looking down here, and here is an example. This is a discussion. So there's a prompt. This is what the question is that I need to answer. And here are some guidelines. So I need to write a response that answers these questions and put my response in the reply box below. So for me to actually complete this assignment, I need to click reply and put my response in here. Let's look at another example. So here's an example where I'm not submitting anything in Canvas. You'll see there's no submit button. Instead, if I look and read the guidelines and read the instructions, complete the CER chart on my group's Google slide. So that's all I do. I click on this, and that's how I know I'm done once I've filled that out. Your teacher may say, just do the assignment in OneNote, and that will be your submission. If you want to just make sure that you have submitted what you think you've submitted, if you look on the right side, it says, okay, it's submitted. It tells me when that happened. I can look at the submission details to see what I've submitted. So if I click here, okay, that's going to bring me to the document that I submitted. And I know that's not showing up on your view right there. If I realize that I submitted the wrong assignment, your teacher may have given you the option to resubmit that assignment. So pay attention to those options that your teacher has given you.